really start anything exactly the way you imagined it. We all kind of have this finished product of ourselves that we envision. It's like you can see them. You see, like, it's in your head, the polished, fully functional version that you want to be. Sometimes in our reality, if our surroundings aren't matching up with that idea of ourselves, we find ourselves trapped in limbo. You can find yourself defeated, feeling down on yourself because, you know, you're thinking that all these things need to be in order before you do this. It's chaotic, especially for a creative, because you have something inside of you that you want to bring out, or you have a life that you want to live, but these self-imposed restrictions and standards are delaying that process. And what happens when you neglect that spark within you, that soul within you, you start to look externally. You're starting to look everywhere outside of yourself to kind of validate and make it make sense. You find any excuse in the book to validate why you're not doing what you need to do. You know, I've been contemplating a lot recently about, you know, simply finding peace within yourself, being okay with who you are, where you are right now. It's really humbling. We're petrified by our own desires and by our own power, to the point that we don't know what to do. We're like in the shackles of fear all the time. But the thing about everyone's life is everyone is responsible for their own lives. Everyone. I wrote this song and then it's like, one of the lyrics is, where did the time go? I gotta catch myself up, was trapped inside limbo. I gotta take the blame, I'm responsible. I'm responsible for my life, I'm responsible. I got the tools, I gotta make it right. Hold on, I like to talk with my hands. But I'm always so busy finding myself cringy, always thinking about like how everyone else is receiving and perceiving me. And that's a prison that I put myself in. Judging myself, critiquing myself, making excuses. It's like, if you don't like something about yourself, okay, well, you gotta change it. That's up to you. It's easy for some people and not so easy for others. Finding peace within yourself now, flaws and all, can allow you to just meet with your true self and meet yourself where you're at, and understand that this world, no matter how chaotic and stressful, you can create something out of what you've been given. We all have something unique within us that we've been given. That's why we're here. Because God knows your soul. The divine knows your soul. That's why he puts you there, puts you with that family. You know, you agreed to it on a soul karmic level, but that's why. It's you're here to go through these experiences because you're supposed to emerge as a flower. You're supposed to emerge with that experience and with that knowledge, that wisdom. Maybe you're gonna create something, maybe you're gonna support someone. Your soul is on a mission. We're all on this journey. And that's why we're perceiving time the way it is. That's why we're perceiving everything as like, oh, you're getting older, you're supposed to be advancing, you're supposed to be reaching heights, but you can't reach any heights or do anything if you're not cool with yourself. If you're always trying to look externally and focusing. Someone on Twitter was like, what's the loudest lesson for you in 2023? And mine was, being too externally focused will cost you the growth you've been praying for. And you know, that's why I try to come home, and I've been getting into yoga a lot. I mean, I've always been in yoga, but just coming home and just detaching from everything, from work. You know, I work a 9 to 5. I'm out here just like everybody else. But come home, savasana, corpse pose, just detach. Let your mind empty so you can see things clearly. You can see yourself clearly. Oh, sorry I didn't reach out. I was too busy reaching in. I think a lot of people think like, oh, you're being so individualistic and all that stuff. But when you're someone who doesn't really know what they're doing in life, doesn't even know, you know, doesn't feel like, is kind of like lost, or isn't sure about themselves, or isn't sure about what they're doing, you gotta reach in. You gotta reach in, because too much external forces have penetrated your aura and caused you to form all these opinions and thoughts about yourself that just aren't true. So you have to find the answer, because you know the answer. Finding peace within myself, you know, there's certain things that you might need for that to to be able to find the peace. You're gonna need some quiet. You're gonna need some solitude, okay? I was talking about on Twitter, reinventing yourself, okay? And the first step in doing that is seeking solitude. If you're someone who's put on all these personas, you've hated yourself for so long, you've criticized yourself for so long, you're like, okay, well, I need to figure out who I am. What you hate, you don't want to learn more about. You kind of want to be away from it. So if you have any form of self-hatred, you're not going to want to learn or connect with yourself. And we all have a little bit of shame, that's normal. But if you grew up where you weren't loved, you didn't feel connected to anyone, you were an outcast, whatever the case may be, you have to like really consciously think like, okay, how can I connect with the person, the body, and the person that I am in this life, instead of being influenced on. Every day is an opportunity to get closer to God, to yourself, to whatever, because you can't show up in communities properly if you don't have this type of self-connection and understanding. And so for a long time, even sometimes still today, you know, I'm cringing at myself. I'm like ashamed of myself because that little kid, you know, that I was, you know, was bullied, teased, ghosted, you know, all that as a little kid. So, you know, I still kind of harken back to those times, but I'm realizing like if I want something different, I have to create something different, and it's all in my hands. I got the tools, I gotta make it right, I gotta choose wisely and choose what's best for me and my energy. I can't see other people doing something and think like, oh, I can do that as well, or I'm good to do, like I should, no. Because I think a lot of people find it safer to fit in and go with the group. They find it easier, but in numerology, 9 is the final number and it's ruled by Mars. To really achieve the heights, you have to challenge the norm, challenge yourself, make extra time, 10 minutes even, to really just devote to something new, to opening something new in your life. If we choose the same behaviors, we're choosing the same storyline. And if you really want that plot development, you gotta first figure out yourself, understand, okay, I can't keep going like this. So if I'm attracting the same thing over and over again, the same lesson, okay, I gotta talk to God. I gotta talk to myself. I gotta figure I gotta figure it out within, because there's something about me right now that's attracting this. I gotta find that peace within myself, flaws and all. Like, okay, I was wrong. Okay, maybe I'm the one who's tripping. Taking that accountability. Because you're responsible for your life. Everyone is. And there's no one else that's going to hold your hand and take you there. Some people it might be. I don't want this to get cold. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter what you want to have. Les Brown has this quote. I said it in my Rahu Pisces video, but I'm going to say it again. It doesn't matter what happened to you. What matters is what are you gonna do about it? Letting my trauma be the excuse. Letting it be the reason why I can't. No. I believe in miracles, okay? I believe in exceeding, pushing boundaries, all of that. I relate a lot to Lady Gaga. She said one time that she's always living like halfway between fantasy and reality. Her Pisces ass. I resonate. I don't accept the bounds that are placed on me. I don't accept that. I don't see them as limits. I see them as challenges. And yeah, I may fall off, but guess what? I'm gonna get back again. I haven't been consistent with this channel, but guess what? I'm gonna always get back up. I'm gonna always get back up. Finding that peace within yourself is the first step. Being like, okay, this is me, this is what I got, this is who I am, honestly. Finding peace with who you are, not letting trauma be your enabler. You know, after you've done the process, the due diligence to heal and move on, it's the step. These are steps to reinventing yourself. These are steps to inviting that future self into the present reality. Because that person's already here. You just need to allow them to come in instead of being in your imagination. Allow them to seep into your present body now. And you do that by finding peace. You do that by quieting out all the outside noise. Sometimes you gotta you gotta log off TikTok. You gotta log off Twitter. You gotta log off whatever. And you have to consume things or participate in behaviors that are conducive to this growth that you want to see in your life. Whatever it is you want to see, you gotta, in your life, you gotta be it. You gotta let it grow. You gotta let it bloom. And I hope you all choose to bloom